Hello and welcome to my channel and welcome to Dirt Rally. This is the Dansko Sim Racing Dirt Rally 2 Championship. I think it's like the 7th championship we've run so far. I've only competed in the last one and this one. So today we're doing a 6 stages at New Zealand, Hawke's Bay. And I've chosen the Lancer Evolution. I don't know a huge amount about rally cars and dirt rally in general. I haven't been playing for very long. But I enjoy the game and I enjoy competing with my friends. So I thought I'd do some videos on it because I enjoy playing it. So first stage, Ocean Beach. I'm not going to bother with the shakedowns. I find at the moment that if I do a shakedown, then I tend to go into the actual stage with a lot more confidence, and where my level is right now in terms of skill, that's just not a good idea because I get overconfident and then just make a mistake.
Into 3 left over crest long tightens. Good luck.
So a little bit on my setup. I've got a Fanatic setup, so got the away we go on the stage. Yeah, I've got the CSL pedals. I've got the Clubsport version 2.5 wheelbase, and on this particular game I tend to use the World Rally Championship wheel from Fanatic as well. So not a great start for me. A little bit cautious. I've been told that currently I drive like I expect grip, so I don't turn into the corners quite as maybe viciously as I can. One of the reasons I really don't like Hawke's Bay is that either side of these track you've got this quite large sort of juts of dirt that go straight up, and I find if I hit those then I'm losing a lot of time straight away, and there's not a lot of room for error. So I tend to take it probably overly cautiously, especially with my experience level. So just getting through the first sector of the first stage here. Been clean so far, but like I said, very tentative and already 14 seconds down on the leader. What I would say though is that the guy leading up this championship at the moment is like a hell of a lot faster than all of us. He's like a good minute or so ahead of even the person in second. So I'm not expecting to do anything particularly crazy, but you know, as long as I'm not last, I'm normally happy, as I don't have loads of hours in this game.
Into 1 left. 2 right tightens. 30. Don't cut. Open hairpin left.
There we go. So I tend to struggle a lot with the hairpins at the moment because I do tend to slow right down, and as you can see, just tip it over the edge there into the water and get an 8-second penalty. So that was my first major mistake, and it's all downhill from here pretty much. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I tend to struggle with the hairpins. I think one of the reasons is I haven't quite built up the confidence to use a handbrake. I don't have a Fanatic handbrake or anything like that, so it's just a button that I've mapped to the wheel. So yeah, finding the confidence to start using that might help with some of the tighter corners. But yeah, also just maybe changing my driving style a little bit, getting out of the habit of driving like I'm doing like a track race, and driving like, you know, I'm on on a surface with no grip. I think actually most of this stage, I think that 8-second penalty is the only one I get in this stage of memory. I don't think I have any major problems other than that in this stage. Like I said, it does get a bit worse in the later stages though. So having said that, I think in like stage 5 of these 6 stages, I do manage to put in a green sector, which is like the first time I've ever done that in these championships. Went a little bit too fast through that corner, or didn't turn up enough, I'm not quite sure. And go a bit wide, slowing right down, that's unfortunate. So already 50 seconds behind, only like three sectors in. So you can see the difference in in skill level there. This is the first time I've done 6 stages on Dirt Rally. Most of this championship stuff that we've done in the past have just been 4 stages long. So it's almost an endurance element of it. Obviously, there's much longer endurance rallying, but for someone who's used to just doing 4 stages, this was quite a rough and tiring sort of session. And I think it's only going to get worse as well, because the championship, the other races that we're doing, I think we're doing one we're doing forced cockpit, which obviously I don't mind because I've always played in the cockpit, because I tend to prefer that in most sim racing games. But I think there's one where we have no assists on as well. I actually don't know what assists I have on or off, if I'm completely honest. I don't remember turning any on, but then I don't know if there's any on by default. So we'll see, I guess. I'm slightly concerned that I have assists on, and then I'm going to jump into the no assists race that we're going to do, rally that we're going to do, and just completely fail. Going wide there again. That's one of my major problems, is sort of either taking a corner maybe too fast, or just like not turning in enough. I'm not quite sure. Or not turning in early enough, perhaps. And then causes me to go wide, and then I lose a lot of time having to make sure I don't go flying off the cliff like I did on the hairpin. Yeah, taking this incredibly cautiously. One of the issues I tend to have as well when I turn in too hard is if I turn in too hard and don't have enough speed going to the corner, then I just like turn into the wall. So that's not particularly oversteer into like a wall or something, which is not particularly good either, which is why I tend to favour the more cautious approach. Little hit there. So I think we're over halfway through the stage now. This is quite a technical first stage, I have to say. There's not a lot of... You don't get a lot of respite. It's not a lot of straight lines or long corners. It's very tight corner. You know, this is like 2 1s, hairpins, things like that. And then obviously you got the cliffs as the cliff side as well. Yeah, I think I currently with my skill level where I'm at, I tend to prefer these sort of more open stages. Like the last one I did before this one was New England. There's actually a video of that up on my channel already with no commentary. And I tend to favour those sort of more open stages because I can gain a bit more confidence going at speed. Because that's one of my other issues that I have, obviously, is going into corners with too much speed and then just missing the corner completely and hitting a barrier or a cliff or something. I'm gaining a little bit of pace here, although I'm just about to hit hairpin again. I'm taking this... I have to say, it doesn't feel this cautious when I run, but it looks so slow when you compare it to other people and other rally drivers. I have to say, I haven't done a huge amount of research when it comes to Dirt Rally, if I'm completely honest, which is probably one of the reasons I'm still pretty slow. With games like ACC, I tend to look at, you know, track guides, telemetry, and things like that to really improve. There you go, hit the side there and just lose any momentum that I had, which is unfortunate. Yeah, with things like ACC, I tend to look at telemetry, track guides to try and sort of improve my times and get faster at the tracks. But with and I also got setups as well. Dirt Rally at the moment, I just sort of go straight in and with the default setting and a default setup, and just sort of try and do my best to get around as fast as I can, you know. One of the few videos I've watched about it tends to say, you know, start slow, you'll find if you get the car round, you will beat some people.
Into 3 left
and then just build up confidence over time.
into 2 right, extra long, opens of a crest.
So that's what I've been doing so far. Just trying to build up my confidence, trying to build up. I screw up there. For some reason I thought that was a left turn there, and it really wasn't. And I was like, oh shit. So I slowed right down to turn it, and then realised I could have just carried on. So I probably lost a bit of time there as well, which is a shame. But there we go. So yeah, just cover around the last couple of corners to the finish of this first stage. Ocean Bay, Hawke's Bay in New Zealand. So cautious through here. I don't know why I'm so cautious. So I need to get over that fear somehow. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Maybe watch some videos, watch some tutorials maybe. Yeah, almost go off the cliff there. Managed to keep it under wraps, and then across the line. Yeah, so 9:56, good 2 minutes off the pace. That's pretty normal though, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, I kept it under 10 minutes, so I suppose that's a good thing. And actually the car's not too beaten up, so although I've been cautious, you know, you've got to remember it's a 6-stage rally, so the lowest amount of... So yeah, my main rival is Teckles there, who's sort of one about 30 seconds ahead of me so far in the Subaru. And then Ginger Malteser, who's like way ahead of everyone. So second one, Elsthorpe Sprint Reverse. I don't think this went terribly well, if I'm completely honest, but we'll have a look. What was I saying before? Trying to remember. Yeah, 6-stage rally, so keeping the car in reasonable shape is going to be good, because it's going to be... We get a sort of... I can't remember what you call it. See, I told you I know nothing about rally. You get kind of like service stop after the 3rd stage, so right smack bang in the middle, so it's not too bad actually. So yeah, this stage has initially quite a bit more pace than the first one. And yeah, we're able to get the car up to some reasonable speed here. I tend to be a little better at speed with obviously with the more straight areas, I tend to be a little better. Hit the wall there a little bit, but managed to keep hold of it. Wasn't going too fast. Sort of feather the throttle through there. Probably could have put the foot down a little bit more. Oh, and yeah, hit one side, hit the other side. I really hate those sort of bumps. They're like natural curbs, aren't they? Yep, so your first stage, 11 seconds down, because it's a shorter stage, not as much of a humongous gap between me and the guy at the head. I think I make a mistake somewhere around here where I basically, here we go. So, yeah, hit the wall, hit the gate. That's not the mistake I was thinking of, but it's unfortunate that, like I said, there's no margin, there's not much margin for error in this rally, so, like I said, I'm going to lose a decent amount of time just sort of pinballing between the wall and the fence there. I don't know if it's this stage or the next one where I make quite a big mistake. Again, another mistake where I just hit that sort of curb at speed and have to slow down and get the car back under control. 22 seconds, so I lost, 6 seconds, 7 seconds in that? 8 seconds, sorry. In that stage. Keep it nice and tidy over there. It's quite narrow there, it's quite interesting. Like if you miss that, you're going to be going into the drink.
tightens. 30.
Drone there, just getting in my way. Slight hit of the grass there, but managed to keep it under control.
3 right. And keep left into 6 right. 6 left.
One of the things I need to get better at as well, actually, is when they say keep left and keep right, I tend to try and I'm a bit too hyper focused on making sure I make the corners that I don't think about like keep left, keep right when on the straights, and then that probably cost me a fair amount of time because you know going over a jump or something when you're in a slightly wrong position can cost you quite a lot and can easily throw you off. Or like hit a wall where you didn't expect to be there because you didn't keep left. Yeah, so lots of good 10 seconds in that stage as well. That was quite a bad stage for me.
6 left, extra long of a grass tightens turn.
Good pinballing still between the grass and the other side of the track.
4 right long, don't cut.
Way too cautious through there. I think I probably could have taken that with a bit more speed, to be honest. Managed to keep it tidy through that little narrow bit. I was quite proud of myself at the time. I think there's another stage which has this same section in it, and I'm a little bit more squirrely, you know, a little bit worse through there, and I was really worried I was going to fly off.
30. 4 right long.
Yeah, here we go. Going up to the end of stage 2 then. Just absolutely scrape that wall. There's a decent amount of damage as well if you just carry on scraping.
50.
And there we go. Across the line and it's like hit the finish barrier. So 4 minutes 30, not too bad. There were no major mistakes in there. I was quite pleased actually that I didn't do anything too crazy. Like I didn't get a penalty at all in that particular stage, and I stay within about 30 seconds of the guy ahead of me, which is all right. You know, obviously I'd like to bring that down further, but I suck, so I can't. That's all part of the game. Okay, nice shot of us in the cockpit. Check the leaderboard. And we go into third stage then. Elstrop sprint forward. Elsthorpe even, not Elstrop. So this is once finished, this will be halfway through the entire rally. Is this like, I think is this pretty much the same but backwards? I'm not sure.
6 left into 3 right long, opens 30. Good luck. 5,
So leaderboard leaders on 16 minutes.
2, 1, go.
And I mean,
40,
we're not far away from that, I think, already.
3 right long, opens 30. 3 right long tightens into sudden turn 2.
So I immediately
50.
make just a completely rubbish mistake in the beginning of this stage. Not a great start. End up doing an Austin Powers and getting stuck between the fence and the barrier. So not a great start to stage 3, and yeah, not particularly happy. Not particularly good through there either. Slightly oversteered. You know, had more speed than I did.
4 left long,
And again, they're not great.
6 left tightens turn 2.
It's amazing how one mistake can sort of slightly spook you or make you push a bit too hard, and you're immediately not doing as well as you possibly could have been. There we go. Probably could have taken that with a little bit more speed, I think, especially since I cut the corner a little bit.
3 left, 60. Turn 5 right.
Over that narrow a little bit. Yeah, make sure I don't hit the wall.
Flat of a crest, 80.
Yeah, it's almost a wall, isn't it? Like, it's almost too big to be a curb. It's almost just basically a freaking wall. Especially when you're going at speed, it just like flings you round if you touch it. And there we go, jumping over the side, hit through sides, hit a couple of sides, over a mound, and then trying to get down for this mound. I'm on my side. There we go, 8 second penalty again, so yeah, really bad through there. That's going to be a decent amount of damage to the car as well. I mean, fortunately this is the third stage, so any damage I do is going to be fixed at the end of it, but you know, it's not great. That was a really silly mistake as well. It was just like sort of hit the grass and then just couldn't get the car back into control, and then decided to take a detour up a mound, which isn't great. I think I took out 2 road signs there as well. New Zealand road maintenance not going to be happy with me. So then here what I should do is probably get a little bit more cautious, but I think I just try and push too hard to try and catch up with those 8 seconds. The one thing I do like about Hawke's Bay, almost lose it through there, as a result hitting the wall, but managed not to get in the drink, which was a bit of a miracle really with the amount of speed I took that narrow bit with. One thing I do like about Hawke's Bay is it sort of does feel like you're driving through the Shire or something in Lord of the Rings. You see these sort of very green grassy hills that look like something out of Lord of the Rings. Probably because it is something out of Lord of the Rings. And the huge nerd in me is just like loving it. Although it's a bit of a scary thought to think that you're driving at this sort of speed through the Shire. Like, hobbits won't know what hit them. Oh, I hit the fence there. Managed to keep it under control. I'm just pretty pleased that I managed to keep that under control, actually. These are the sort of things that I'm trying to get better at, is, you know, obviously trying to not make mistakes, but also sort of managing the mistakes I do make to make sure I don't make them worse. Like I said, I feel like it's better to go slow than take, you know, an 80, like an 8 or even like 30-second penalty. Just about to keep it on there. Hit the mound, wall, whatever you want to call it. Don't quite turn in enough there. I don't know if it's a speed thing or a steering thing. I need to sort of experiment really, but could be both. But yeah, lose a lot of speed through that sort of tight corner there.
Opens into 4 right, small cut.
Up the hill we go.
Left long, opens over crest,
quite a steep incline there.
Right,
hit the side yet again. I'm sure my wheel arches are absolutely destroyed. If this was a real car, they'd absolutely, like, the rims would just be destroyed. A little bit too fast through there, I think, and have to sort of slow down a little bit to take that corner without hitting the wall. Very narrow bit through the Shire. There we go. So 5 minutes 5 seconds. I mean, that's. I'm pretty sure if that's similar to the previous stage, then I definitely could have done that in. Well, I mean, I could have done it in at least 8 seconds quicker, couldn't I, without the penalty? So yeah, could have maybe got it under 5 minutes. So yeah, still second to last. Still about 30 seconds, more like 35 seconds now between myself and the guy ahead. Although, different guy ahead actually. There we go. If I hadn't have done that really silly, stupid mistake at the beginning, I would have been alright. So, stage 4. Bit of a long one again. Waimarama point reverse. Apologies to any New Zealanders watching, if there is any, for my awful pronunciation. So yeah, we got a sort of service stop. I managed to not. I didn't have a huge amount of damage. I was quite pleased that it was just the radiator had a bit of damage. 12 minutes of damage, so we fixed that and go into the last 3 sectors, stages. Sorry.
Good luck.
Leader on 24 seconds 49. So that's the time to beat, I guess, or the time to try and get closer to. Bit of a darker start there, although actually looks quite light further around.
Into 2 right,
I'm trying to remember which.
Tightens cut.
I think the next two stages, 4 and 5, are pretty bad ones for me, if I'm honest. This whole sort of rally wasn't great for me. Don't know why I'm starting a commentary video on a dirt rally video. It's like probably one of my worst rallies in a while. But there we go. It's because it's a championship. I like to follow the championship. And straight over wide into defence. Yeah, not even got through the first sector yet. Making the mistakes. And another mistake. Yeah. There we go. That's alright. It's all a learning process at the end of the day. And maybe doing these commentary videos will allow me to sort of rewatch these replays in full and just try and understand why I'm making mistakes and what I can do to improve. I'm still fairly new to the game, so to be honest, I'm reasonably happy with what I'm doing. You know, if I manage to beat one person, then I'm usually a good result. If I don't take too many penalties, also usually a good result. That felt slow through there, although I was obviously being careful not to scrape the wall. So yeah, 15-second difference between myself and the leader. That's not actually as bad as I thought it was, considering the mistakes I made. Pretty awful corner there for me. Slow down possibly a little bit too much. Probably needed to be on the left a little bit more and then turn in a bit harder into that corner. So that I didn't have to slow straight down as I went straight into the wall. That was a little better, although again probably could have been a bit wider.
One left. And one right long. Opens flat of a crest.
Could have got the power down I think a little bit earlier on that corner as well. And then this corner is just really slow. Again, probably to put the power down a little bit more than I am doing. But again, it comes down to sort of car control, and maybe I don't really have the confidence to have the good car control, and then therefore chucking the power down a bit too rapidly can really damage a run. Lovely scrape of the wall there. As we head into the sort of more open part of this stage.
Small cut 3 left. Into 5 right long. 160.
28 seconds down there, so that was actually better, definitely a better sector than the previous one. So the previous one I lost 15 seconds, that one I sort of gained back a couple of seconds there, I think. I say gained back a couple of seconds. I was 2 seconds faster than, I don't know what I'm saying. It could have been worse is what I'm saying. It could have been like 30 odd seconds if I carried on the same trajectory of losing time.
Into 2 left long. Into 2.
He said slow there, probably did that a little bit too slow, took him a bit too seriously. I've been told I don't blame the co-driver enough. When I make a mistake, it's always their fault for calling the wrong thing out. Yeah, bad corner for me there. Not quite sure what happened. I guess it just sort of crept up on me, or I wasn't paying enough attention to what my co-driver was saying. Or he was wrong. Maybe he was just wrong. Let's just blame the co-driver. When in doubt, blame Jeff. I don't know if he's even called Jeff in this game, but he's called Jeff in Formula 1 games, so I'm calling him Jeff.
Into 2 right long. Opens of a crest. 50.
And then something weird.
2 left. Small.
I think something goes wrong with the car here, because you get that awful sort of
Into 5 right long.
rattling, sort of, I'm not quite sure.
Into 6 left.
Kind of sounds like a
50.
gear or something that's a bit bad. I think that spooks me a little bit, and I end up making this mistake.
Crest.
I think I make another mistake after this as well. You can hear it now, proper hear it, and then it just goes away.
80.
So I have no idea what it was, but clearly it fixed itself.
Crest. 80.
Again, like I said, I had know nothing about this game, so I don't know what's broken on the car when I hear sounds like that.
1 left.
I don't, not enough of a mechanic or petrol head to know that sort of stuff. I just enjoy racing. I don't know, the wall there. You'd think if you just enjoy the racing, you'd be a bit better at it, but I'm not. I'm 50 seconds behind now, so getting pretty bad. Pretty bad. I mean, so far this stage is better than I remember. Like that mistake I made where the part was making the car was making a funny noise was not as bad as I remember the mistake being, but there we go. Take it a little bit too wide there, and oh, that's the big one. That's the big one. Take the flipping fence down. Look. So yeah, managed to Austin Powers it again, but this time around didn't lose too much time in like trying to get the car back up and running, but did almost pretty much a full 360. I think I took out quite a bit of damage from that as well, which is unfortunate. So I've got to take that damage through to stage 5 and stage 6 now, which is unfortunate. I think this stage 4 was a particularly challenging one for me because it was quite a long one. Like obviously there was the first stage was quite long, and then this one was as well, and then the others are sort of more like sprints of about 4 or 5 minutes.
Into 4 left and slow 4 right into open hairpin left long tightens 50.
That was quite a good little move through those couple of corners. Quite pleased how smooth that was, but ruined it on the hairpin. I think maybe I just need to watch some onboards of other drivers and maybe even some real rally. And as I get absolutely punished there, like I'm not quite sure what I was thinking there, of just reversing. I don't know what I was thinking, but there we go. Lose a lot of time there, a lot of time. And yeah, this one was like I hit the side and then I hit it again, and hitting it the second time just absolutely sends me around. And I wasn't going particularly fast, but yeah. So this is what I mean about this particular rally being incredibly punishing. With just like where it feels sort of like, oh, I can go quite fast, and then you just hit the side and you're off. You are spinning. Broken down a lot of fences in this stage. The farmers of these New Zealand hills are going to be very pissed, very annoyed.
Into 4 left and keep right of a crest, turn 2 left long tightens.
Oh, as we get
Into 2
a bit squirrely through there, we're playing a bit of pinball with the sides of the track. As always, you know, tend to sort of just about pinball my car down very tight through there, but not too bad. Pretty happy with that. Is this going through the same narrow bit again? Yeah, so this is the first sort of narrowy bridge, which I do fine. And then I think we do the other. Did we do the other narrow bit as well in this particular stage? Or is that in the other stages? Trying to remember. I think it's this stage.
Opens 30. 3 right. And keep left into 6 right, 6 left. 2 right long opens.
Since my mistake, I've been. I think I've been doing okay. Just sort of getting it round. Not too cautious, but not overly. Not overly reckless either. 2 minutes down already by this point, so quite a hefty chunk of time I'm losing on this stage, especially. Haven't actually had a penalty, but obviously I had those 2 spins which I had to fix, and the second one I'm not quite sure why I didn't just immediately turn around. Do I get off the ground? Not quite, but I go straight into the grass. Slow right down to make sure I don't hit any you know, rocks or anything and just go absolutely flying.
4 right long, don't cut.
Again, that corner I take
Into 3 left.
very cautiously. I'm not quite sure why. This is the tight bit where I'm like not quite sure if I'm going to go off, and I just about managed to stay on. I think my back wheel was close
30.
to going off the bridge there, but
Long,
managed to keep it on the track. So
long.
I remember while I was doing that, I was like, you know, my heart jumped into my mouth a little bit, and I was just like, oh my god.
4 right long.
So that was the turn-in that I want to get into the habit of doing. So I, you know, do it sometimes. Hit the wall. Yeah. I think I hit that exact spot in the first stage as well.
Of a finish.
I don't know what it is. There we go. Managed to crawl across the line after 11 minutes. Pretty bad one, that one, I think. So I think even the first stage we did in about 9 minutes, like less than 10. So I mean, I think that could have been at least a minute better than it was, which isn't great really. Sometimes I wonder whether in those scenarios where I got spun round, whether it's better just to reset and go, and whether I lose more time trying to get the car back into the right place. Yeah, I lose a lot of time there to the guys ahead. You know, I think I'm close to almost a minute behind at that point. Right, apologies for pronunciation. Stage 5 is Teawanga. Teawanga. Sprint reverse. So this is penultimate stage. And if memory serves, this didn't go too horrendous for me. I think I get a penalty, quite a big penalty in this one, but aside from that I do okay, but we'll see.
3, 2, 1.
This is another relatively short, sort of under 5 minutes stage,
2 right.
like stages 2 and 3. Again, not a great start through there. Could have probably taken that with a little bit more speed.
Into don't cut. 2 right tightens. 2 left. Into 3 right. 30. 6 right. Into 5 left.
Getting quite slow through some of these corners.
Tightens. Into 1 left. Opens.
I got a funny feeling it might be a cliff again that I just sort of tip over.
Into 3 left.
Yeah, I think it's a cliff. If my memory serves, there's like a four turn, and to me it didn't feel like a 4 turn, but and I just go maybe I didn't turn enough or something, I don't know, but I just tip over the cliff and end up in the sort of grass and heath. So 10 seconds in the first sector. Here we go. So yeah, and then I just get lost. I have no idea where I am, and I think I just get, because I spend so long trying to find where I'm going, I get
Into open hairpin right.
reset back to track and take a full minute penalty, which proper hurt. So I really should get into the habit, I think, in that scenario of just resetting the car as soon as possible, because then I'm only going to lose like 8 seconds. You know, 8 seconds is going to be huge over a minute. You know, so that was a bad mistake from me there, where I sort of made a mistake getting into the corner. I think it was a bit tighter than I was told, but maybe I just suck.
Into 6 left long.
And yeah, that was unfortunate. I was a bit demoralised at that point. You know, being a minute behind, already 30 seconds to a minute behind the guy in front. To get another minute penalty, you can already see I'm already a minute and a half down from the guy in the lead. And so yeah, but I think I felt a little bit demoralised initially, but I thought, you know what, I'll just try and do my best through this. Clearly I didn't do my best because I did that. I got a bit wide through that corner. But there we go.
2 left tightens. Into 2 right tightens. Into 3 left.
This is quite a fun little bit where it's sort of 2, 3, 2.
4 right long.
Quite a fun few little corners there you got to negotiate through. See, I think I like it when I don't like it when it's too tight, like 1s and 2s and 1s and 2s and hairpins. It's like, ugh. But like 2s and 3s, I can deal with 2s and 3s going through a series of those is all right. But I lose so much time probably in the hairpins just because I need to get used to sort of really turning into them, I guess.
Into 2 right.
Should probably spend some more time practicing before doing these stages and see if I can make up some time.
Into caution. Open hairpin right.
It's difficult though with this game because I think you compare yourself. You can compare yourself to your friends. So I think I can do that, but you can't compare yourself necessarily to other people in a championship, like in a practice mode or in a time trial mode.
Into open hairpin left.
So yes, that last sector felt
Of a crest.
fairly slow to me.
Caution 20. 2 right
Yeah,
tightens.
make a bit of a mistake there. I don't quite turn in enough.
Into 3 left.
Take it a bit
Into
too
3
straight.
right. 30. 2 right long.
And
Opens.
I'm going to be post 5 minutes.
3 left.
I mean, only just. It was like almost flying off the edge there. But I mean, we're still like the 12-13 seconds off the 5-minute mark. I mean, I actually went green in that sector, weirdly, which I think is the first time that I've ever gone green in one of these championships in any sector. And it didn't feel like a clean sector either, which is, you know, maybe the guy in the lead just had a really bad sector, I'm not sure, but there we go. Right, so yeah, now 2 minutes behind. Teckle's in front of me there, so that's unfortunate. I made that mistake of not resetting quick enough. But here we go, into the last stage. Ocean Beach Sprint Reverse. I think this is the reverse of the first stage, I think. If memory serves, I think this stage went alright for me. I don't have any major penalties, major problems. Got a pretty beaten up car at this point though.
Right. Into 4 left. Good
So
luck.
just trying to get it round really at this point, not damaging it too much.
5, 4,
Try to avoid
3,
like a puncture or whatever.
1, go. 30, 4 left tightens, into 5 right, into 4 left, into 2 right long, opens. Into
Yeah, a little bit about the championship actually. So Dad's Go Sim Racing is a community that I'm a part of, as you may have seen in some of my other videos. Some of you might even be from DGSR watching this video, most likely. And it's a fun little community. We play.
1 right,
I've been a part of, I think, 2 sim communities. I'm in a lot of different Discord servers, but I've only really competed in sort of 2 communities.
left, very
One was a ACC sim series, which was dedicated towards sort of beginners and rookies. I felt, even though it was aimed towards rookies and beginners, something felt a bit too competitive about the community, and I didn't always agree with the direction that the staff took, and that's fine. That community wasn't for me, but I've since joined Dad's. A friend of mine is one of the admins, and he invited me to Dad's, and even though I'm not a dad, unless you count my dog, it's so far been a really nice community to be a part of. You know, they tend to race a bit later. You know, when we do AC or ACC races, because obviously the dads need to put their kids to bed. And that tends to suit me a little bit better because it means I'm not rushing after work or whatever to get in a race. I can just have a nice relaxing evening and then race at the end of it as a bit of a more casual, excuse me, more casual race. So I'd recommend it to anyone. You know, despite the name, it's still an open community. You know, anyone from single people, dads, even parents of all shapes and sizes can join. Don't be afraid of the name. And yeah, some really nice people there, and I've really enjoyed the community so far. And we do lots of different games as well. So AC, Assetto Corsa Competizione. We're doing races on Race Room soon. We obviously do Dirt Rally. We do Wreckfest sort of semi-regularly as well, which is always a huge bit of fun. You know, if you're thing about sim racing is that sometimes, at least for me, sometimes it feels like you put a lot of effort into, you know, making sure you're as fast as you can be, and it can get quite stressful, awful through there, but yeah, it gets quite stressful. And you know, to come in on a Monday evening or something and just play some wreckfest with the people you're normally racing against and getting penalties, hitting, or you know, complaining at for hitting you into turn one or whatever, you just play a bit of wreckfest and all of that tension goes away. I thought I didn't make any mistakes in this stage, but clearly I did. another another spin round and really awful rejoin, let's be honest. And it's difficult to get yourself turned around on this stage, on this rally, because of how quite, you know, how tight it is in comparison to some of the others. One of the worst rallies for sort of making mistakes like that is Argentina, I found, because like there's like these jagged rocks both sides of you, and if you make a mistake then you're getting stuck between these rocks, and that's unfortunate. And that's going to deal a lot of damage as well, at least on this track. Okay, you get yourself spun around and you hit the sides of the track, but you're not going to take on loads of damage on your car. So getting through the 4-minute mark there. So we've got one more sector that we've got to try and get through. 44 seconds behind is about right. I tend to be on the shortest stages, tend to be about a minute behind the leader. On the longer stages, more like 1.5, 2. I have to say, at this point, I was feeling very tired. My arms, especially. I mean, the force feedback in Dirt Rally is you know, a lot different to the force feedback in something like ACC, and obviously it's cool as hell. Like, you know, the fact that you get that. You know, you've got to have the strength in your arms to turn the car in, and a little bit of a shady spot there. Almost went into the drink, but managed to keep it clean. Past the 5-minute mark, unfortunately. Again, maybe if I'd not spun around, might have managed 5 minutes. Maybe that's what I should be doing. Maybe I should just be giving myself a target for a stage and saying, try and get this time in that stage. Less than a minute behind, so I mean, it could have been worse. Could have been worse. And I think that is the end of the first championship rally of this season. Come in 5th so far. I think there'll probably be other people that will race. So we'll see where we are at the standings at the beginning of the next one. So there we go, 6 stages done in New Zealand. Coming in at 5th at the moment. Considerable amount of time, like 2 minutes behind the guy in 4th, and you know, 8 minutes behind the guy. I think it's 3 minutes. Is that 3 minutes? No, about 2.5 minutes behind. And there we go. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a bit of a first for me. I've uploaded Dirt Rally videos before, but never with commentary. So I hope you enjoyed this little experiment. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.